What's happening, everyone? TomGorian here, and welcome to episode number 20. Yeah, I can't believe it already. We're already 20 episodes in the F125 Mogorian to Glory. This is round 4 for season 2 for 2026. It's the Miami Grand Prix at Miami Gardens, and honestly, it's one of my favorite tracks on the F1 game to drive on, so hopefully we can have better success here than we've had in the previous couple of races. Check out the playlist so that you're all up to date, and check out one of my previous career mode videos so you know what's been going on in the world of the Mogorian to Glory. In the previous episode, we achieved fan rating level 4, and as you can see there, we are starting to now make our way up the fan rating. We are ahead of Haas, Alpine, the Racing Bulls, and also Kick Sauber as well. And if we get to level 5, we will be overtaking Williams and also Aston Martin. And as you can see there, the fan bonus rating will give us a 2% increase in towards the secondary sponsor income. As far as what our fans want, they want simple. They want more points. So as long as we keep bringing the upgrades, that's all we can do. Hopefully give us more points. A celebrity visit. High-profile celebrity has expressed interest for a music video. We are going to decline that because we are busy trying to make this team a Formula 1 World Championship winning constructor. And so we transition in towards the personnel, and we get Race Evolution Racecraft at a level 2, which is great, so that our drivers, when we're not controlling them, both Franco and Nico, will do better in the races, and that's what we need. This is a constructors team, and we need to focus on the constructors, and hopefully both of our drivers scoring points very, very soon. We get a chassis breakthrough level 2 there, so I think we're getting more chassis upgrades, which is great because the more chassis upgrades we get, the better our car will handle and the lighter our car will be, which overall gives us lap time, and that's what you want to be doing. And as you can see, I'm just checking out some of these upgrades, the hydraulics upgrades. We don't have enough resource points for that yet, so I think that will be the next upgrade for the next video. And yeah, we're kind of like, I wouldn't say struggling, but oh yeah, it's a sprint weekend.
So it's all about speed in today's sprint. Not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and it's Esteban Ocon in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Hamilton, Lance Stroll, and Verstappen, Antonelli, Sainz, Gasly, and Charles Leclerc, Albon, Aaron, Yuki Tsunoda, and Pepe Marti, Lawson, Doohan, Franco Colapinto, and Oscar Piastri, Hulkenberg, Hadja, Mortaletto, and Ollie Behrman rounds off the grid. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out.
We have action all video long. Obviously, it's Miami, so it's sprint weekend. We qualified in P19, but it's no problem as we got 5 red lights, and away we go for the first sprint race of 2026. It's a decent start there. Piastri is down at 18th, however, he's already got the jump on Jack Doohan and also Marty in the Kick Sauber as we go on towards turn 1 there, and we've already made 3 positions as well. So pretty much practice, yeah, it was dry practice, and I believe Saturday is going to be dry as well. However, the race on Sunday is going to be wet. So yeah, for the second time in this series, we will have a wet race. So yeah, looking forward to that because I haven't really had that many wet races. I've actually noticed a couple of things on the Mogorian to Glory so far. We haven't had that many wet races, and there hasn't been that many safety cars as we overtake Paul Aaron around the outside in towards turn 1 there. That was a very nice move. I switched from the inside back towards the outside on the Haas, and we've absolutely made that work. We've got a green flag there as we be in the middle of lap number 3 as I think that's Marty there. Marty has retired because of an engine issue, but however we do get DRS, and we are now trying to chase down Alex Albon for 12th place in Miami, and we send it from a long way back. We kick the rear end out, and we go get down the inside of the Thai driver, and we are up in towards P12, and yeah, pace actually doesn't look that bad. However, as you can see, the gaps there are absolutely ridiculous there. We've got Oscar Piastri trying to go down the inside here in towards the hairpin there. However, we do switch back though because I do kind of brake a little bit too early to the point where the AI already have the move, so I have to counteract the AI. And yeah, that was the race. That was the sprint race. Not really much happened apart from those battles there. George Russell wins the Miami Grand Prix. And how good was George Russell in the Singapore Grand Prix this past weekend? He was very, very good, and hopefully Mercedes give him a car like the car that he has so far to compete for the World Championship next season. However, for us, not really bad. From 19th to P11, we will take that, even though we haven't scored that many points so far this season. 11th place from 19th isn't a bad omen for us in this Miami Grand Prix. And now we can get to the serious business. It's time for qualifying.
Welcome back to Miami and welcome to qualifying. Only raw speed will separate these drivers today, but the question is, who's got what it takes to get pole?
So let's do this, qualifying for the Miami Grand Prix in 2026, and yeah, obviously because of how the track conditions are with the sunset and stuff, it did make the laps a little bit harder to do, but yeah, it was just one of those things where I had to get used to, and yeah, so as far as how the car felt, in practice only we had one practice session because of the sprint race. Yeah, qualifying practice felt a little bit weird. You know, you usually run low wings around here, but you don't want to be running too low because the car just doesn't really feel nice in the high speed corners of Sector 1. So yeah, I've had to mess around with the setup a bit. I think it's like 12 wings for this weekend. So here we go, final lap in qualifying. As you can see, we are already dealing with traffic. We've got Charles Leclerc there coming out the box. We've also got Alex Albon there coming in towards the high speed S sections there, and we're already 2 temps up as we go in towards this sequence of corners here. We've got Isaac Hadjar. Hopefully he doesn't block us there, and he hasn't done a good job of getting out the way. This corner is very awkward, the long left-hander. You don't know when to smash the throttle. It's a very awkward corner to try and get it right, but as you can see, it's going well so far. We are nearly 3 temps up here, so if we can try and do, I'd say a low 26 maybe, if we do have it in our lockers, that would be a very good lap. Entering now the stadium section here in the Miami Hard Rock Hotel, and once again we're gaining in the temp with 4 temps up. Now the Mickey Mouse section there, ride the cabs, and then also ride this one here, and as you can see, we have gained 2.5 temps, a purple second sector. Not really bad here for the Miami Grand Prix, and now it all depends on this final corner here. We've got, I believe that is Esteban Ocon. He moves out the way. However, we do lose some time. I broke a little bit too late there, and we have lost another temp there, so it's a good lap here, but it's not going to be an amazing lap. As we come across the line, we're going to do a 26.2, and yeah, that puts us in P10. So I believe there could have been another temp, maybe another 10.5 in that lap there, if it wasn't for maybe the traffic, and also if it wasn't for other circumstances. But we finished qualifying in P12. Russell, again, it's another Mercedes pole position, so but yeah, we've got Piastri in P10 there. Russell does a 24.5. Jesus Christ.
Formula One has arrived in the Sunshine State for spectacular sunsets, gentle breezes, warm waters, and for what will be a fantastic race day here at the Miami International Autodrome. Well, it's certainly not sunny here in the Sunshine State. A lap of the Miami Grand Prix features 19 corners and 3.36 miles of track around the Hard Rock Stadium. But these conditions should prove especially difficult for all of our drivers today. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Ocon, Max Verstappen and Albon, Stroll, Antonelli, Leclerc and Oscar Piastri. Bortoletto, Hulkenberg, Yuki Tsunoda and Hadja. Behrman, Gasly, Paul Aron and Carlos Sainz. Doohan, Colapinto, Talk momentum with this driver. What a sprint it was. They start at 0 once again for today, but with a huge amount of confidence, surely. Now, we had great fun watching them win last time out. What a great victory it was. But can they carry that into today's race?
It's the important one, isn't it, Crofty? You've done it once, can you do it again? But, you know, if you start believing in yourself and the confidence starts to build, that inner confidence is what you need. And you can carry that through to future races, including this one, and you set that ball rolling. That's the critical thing that they're looking for here. And I believe if you've got that first race win or a win at any stage, it can start to roll with you in a good way.
Welcome to the grid for the Miami Grand Prix, and I am liking our chances. However, I would like our chances a little bit more if the race was dry. And unfortunately for us, it is a wet race. Intermediate conditions, my apologies, I am running 1811 dry wings there. I'm going to increase the tyre pressures just so that the intermediates don't really, cook up in these conditions here. And I'm going to go 1912 with the wings. Just go down on the rear suspension just to help with the car rotation. And just to confirm, everyone else is on the inters. I don't know if this is going to be a wet to dry race. However, time will tell.
Right then, the formation lap has started, and I must say the weather conditions aren't the best today for visibility and for grip. As each driver performs this lap, they'll be wanting to settle in and concentrate, as this race, in these conditions, will require a lot of focus. As the cars make their way back to the starting grid to form up and get ready for lights out, let's hope the race ahead today is a thrilling one that will go down as a memorable Grand Prix in the history books.
I can't lie, guys, I always get nervous for these types of races. Not just, doing these races, but watching races like this, where it's intermediate conditions, and it could be inters to dries, or inters to full wets, or, just one of the either. You can never really tell with these types of races, both in real life and also in the game. Anything can happen here in the Miami Grand Prix with these conditions, and I like our chances. If we get a good start, we could probably get P9 or P8, and who knows, maybe with a safety car or two, we could definitely challenge for the top 7. However, here we go for round 4 of the 2026 season here in the Miami Grand Prix for 5 red lights. And here we go for the Miami Grand Prix, early shift in towards third gear for good traction. And we've already got Bortoletto there, as we're going to go around the outside of Piastri and also Leclerc and maybe Kimi Antonelli in towards turn 1. And just by turn 2, we're already in the points. Believe it or not, the outside line is the way to go in these intermediate conditions. And we've already made 4 positions from 12th to 8th. So that is an amazing start here. However, now we're going to see how the track really is. And I can't lie, that first sector, yeah, there's a reason why I cut it out, because the first sector was absolutely horrific for understeer. And I don't know why. It's probably because of my lack of wet racing on F125. It's just, wet racing feels weird. It feels like you've got no grip, but it feels like you've got all the grip at the same time. It's a very inconsistent feeling, and I remember saying this back in the very first episode, because the Australian Grand Prix, the very first race I did in this series was, a wet race. Simply put, I'm not used to the wet weather driving yet, so that's something I need to get used to, as we absolutely T-bone Lance Stroll there coming up the final corner, as Russell sets a 40.2, and yeah, we're already 9 seconds behind. Well, actually, we are 1.9 seconds behind, as we do a 41.9 and then a 41 flat here. But as you can see, here comes Kimi Antonelli on lap 6. Going to go down the inside in towards, I believe this is turn 7. in towards turn 7 or turn 8, won the 2 corners. However, we do have the outside line, and we will retain P number 7 in the stadium section. So, yeah, as far as the car is concerned, car doesn't really feel that bad. Obviously, coming out the traction corners, of course, Codemasters and EA, they did nerf the AI when it came to just traction zones, so they are a little less overpowered in slow speed corners, but they are still kind of ridiculous in a straight line. So, as far as how the car is feeling right now, it doesn't feel that bad, to be fair, in the medium speed corners. However, I do feel like I don't really want to push in case I lose the back end a little bit too bad. But yeah, I am keeping pace now with the AI, and as you can see on lap 12, Lance Stroll's pace was really fading away here. So we're going to try and make a move as Russell does a 36.9. So look at the gap Russell has. Speaking of the gaps, we're going to go for the gap around the outside in towards the final corner, break at the 100-meter board, down in towards second gear, pinch him on the curb there, and early shift in towards third and fourth gear, and that is a decent overtake, and we're up now in towards 6th place as we now enter the end of lap number 14, and went a little bit deep there, went a little bit deep in towards the final corner. However, we're going to make our pit stop for our one and only stop of this race, and it doesn't look like the conditions are going to change. So it looks like we'll go from an inter to another set of intermediates, and hopefully we can retain our lead over Charles Leclerc. Everything seems fine. However, it's the rear right issues once again, and we've lost position. We've lost position to Charles Leclerc there thanks to the pit stop, so that is not good, and our pit stops are once again our Achilles heel in the Mogorian to glory. Yeah, I thought we'd upgraded our pit crews, but clearly our pit crews are still fast asleep, so I'm gonna have to have words with our pit crews. However, Paul Aaron is holding Charles Leclerc up as we give Charles Leclerc a bit of a hurry up there. However, clearly he has no intentions of overtaking Paul Aaron, and we are going to do that here in towards sector 3, and we've overtaken Charles Leclerc for P number 6 once again on the road. Now, final 12 laps. This is where the race is decided here. So, as you can see, I'm running on 14% battery. I've got Charles Leclerc all over me in a faster Ferrari, and yeah, for some reason I keep on braking a little bit too early in towards turn 8, and that allows Charles Leclerc to get the run in towards the corner. But because we can ride the apex a little bit more, we can pretty much hang him out to dry. And here you can see once again, we simply brake a little bit too early so we can have a bit of a nose down the outside there. But once again, he can't make the move stick because we're just holding him off to dry. Now, lap 21, Piastri has now got ahead of Charles Leclerc as we have the final 8 laps here. Piastri now trying to decide where he wants to go. I'm trying to use some of my battery there just to keep him at bay. Clearly that McLaren is so much faster, and as you can see once again, I'm braking at that tunnel, or that bridge if you will, at the 100-meter bridge, and clearly the McLaren kind of brakes like 10-20 meters deeper, and he can still make the corner. So as you can see, look at the traction that Piastri has, and we're wall banging. He forces into the wall there, does Piastri, and as you can see there, we're wall banging at 203 miles an hour as we break in towards as the 10. Piastri faces us. Who's going to retain the position? And it's going to be us here in towards the stadium section there. We were wall banging there, and clearly, thankfully, and front wing damage wasn't a factor there. But now this is getting really intense as we approach the final 5 laps here in the Miami Grand Prix. Here comes Piastri once again. He has a mega run. I don't know how he's getting a great exit there out of turn 7, but clearly that McLaren is on steroids or something. But yeah, we're down towards second gear. We have to really put on the throttle there so that the car rotates. But yeah, this battle is really getting heated up now. Charles Leclerc's getting involved. It's going to be 3 wide in towards turn 9 or turn 8. We're going to have to hold it around the outside, and thankfully we still are in P6. So I don't know how we're doing it. I don't know how we've done it, but George Russell dominantly wins the Miami Grand Prix just like he did in real life. And thankfully for us, as we're losing the back end, Tsunoda has now overtaken Piastri. However, for us, from P12 all the way to P6.
Great, good job guys, happy for that.
By George, he's done it! Russell wins!
And that's 2 wins in a row now. It's the start of potentially something special, but they can't get ahead of themselves just yet. It's a long way to go.
From lights out to the checkered flag, this is what they're racing for. It's points and a trip to the podium. By George, he was good today. The top step awaits for George Russell.
What a performance by Nico Hülkenberg in the Miami Grand Prix. Of course, George Russell wins, and that Mercedes is looking ever so good. Verstappen in second and Norris in third. However, for us, it was a very, very, very good race. From P12, we had that good start, and we went around the outside of a couple of cars. We were able to hold on with the Aston Martins of Kimi and also Lance Stroll. We overtook Lance Stroll, and then even with that pit stop blunder with Charles Leclerc, we were able to overtake him again. And then it was just about defending in towards that turn 8 complex against Charles Leclerc, against Oscar Piastri. You know, that free wide battle there. We were wheel banging as well, wall riding as well, and P7. Oh, that's just the overall weekend. But there it is, P6 in the Miami Grand Prix. 8 more points. 8 more points to add in towards this 2026 Career Mode Championship as well. Charles Leclerc scores 1 point. Tsunoda as well. He managed to overtake Sainz, Leclerc and Piastri in the final couple of laps there. Hulkenberg's on 10 and Franco is on 19 there, so the boys are getting it done, believe it or not, even though we are driving with them. But yeah, that was a very, very good race there by Nico Hülkenberg there to finish in 6th place, starting from 12th there. And yeah, Hülkenberg is officially on the map as far as the McGorian X4 MIG team is concerned. And yeah, we just need Franco to start pulling his weight, and hopefully we can get 2 drivers scoring regular points. And that's what we need, because we are a team and we need that money. But that is that for episode number 20 of the F1 25 McGorian to Glory. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more F1 25 McGorian to Glory My Team Career Mode content as we approach round 5, which is at Imola. Thanks for watching. If you smell what the Scouse wants cooking.